Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Campea, and this is a companion video. Now, what are companion videos? Well, I'm awfully glad that you asked to see every day on the John Campea Show, Monday through Friday. We take the second half of the show to take live questions. However, we quite often don't have time to get around to all the live questions that get sent in, but I want to make sure those questions get answered properly in a video, so I gather up those unused questions and we address them here in companion videos, and that's what we're going to do right now. So let's start getting caught up here, shall we? We're going to start things off here today with James Argenta, who writes, will Disney release the episodes they have complete of shows like Wanda Vision on Disney Plus and then release the rest later when the episodes are done? I honestly, I don't know. And really, I don't know if Disney's even figured that out yet. Here's my guess. My guess is they won't release it until the whole show's done. That's my guess. I'm not saying that's what they should do. I'm not saying that's what they shouldn't do. My guess right now, though, you know, knowing Kevin Feige and knowing Bob Iger the way we have, it just seems to me like they'd want to make sure it's done before they started releasing them. If it were up to me, I would say, you know, complete the post-production when you have, but you got to also remember this too. They're probably not shooting this show like traditional TV shows, right? Think of it this way. When you shoot a movie, you hardly ever shoot, okay, today we're shooting page 1 of the script. That's not how it works. You know, you shoot the movie out of order in whichever way is going to be most common sense for how to lay out your schedule and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, sometimes movies start shooting the last act of the movie. They start on day 1, you know. And with Wanda Vision and Loki and Falcon Winter Soldier, I have a feeling they're not just shooting them now let's shoot episode 1. Now let's shoot episode 2. Now let's shoot episode 3. I have a feeling they're probably just shooting them in I have a feeling like day 1, they're shooting scene 5 of episode 3. The next day, they're shooting scene 1 of episode 2. The next day, they're shooting scene 18 of episode 4. You know, just whatever makes most sense for them to shoot it. Again, not like a traditional TV show. So but I don't know. But I just have a feeling that's the way they're doing it. That's my guess right now, and I'm sure we'll find out sooner rather than later. But it's a good question right now, James. All right, next one up. Rohith writes, "Hey, John, first time super chat from India. Thank you so much for writing in from India. And Hotstar not only has Disney Plus, but it also has HBO, Showtime, and ABC shows all in one app, which costs around $10 for a 1-year subscription." Now, I've been getting different messages from people in India. I've had some people in India write to me and saying it's $20 for the year. I've heard some people, now you're writing $10 for the year. The bottom line is everything I've heard about this Hotstar thing is crazy good. Like, even if $20 a year, that's crazy. That's less than $2 a month. That is insane for all the stuff that you get on it. I'm not going to lie to you. It makes me a little bit jealous. And it sounds like an awesome thing. I got to look into it more. Thanks for writing that in, Rohith. All right. Mike Thompson writes, "I'd say that Indy 5 is more cursed." Now, of course, earlier today on the John Campea Show, we were asking, which is more cursed at this point, Indy 5 or New Mutants? I'd say that Indy 5 is more cursed. At least New Mutants got made. That's true. That's a significant point. New Mutants is done. It's just sitting on a shelf ready to get released. Indiana Jones 5 has not shot a single frame of film. It's done. It's ready to be watched right now. Indy 5 still doesn't even exist yet. You know what, Mike? That's a good argument. That is a good argument to be made on the Indiana Jones is more cursed than New Mutants argument. That's a really good point to make. All right, Mike also says, neither does The Flash for that matter, and it was supposed to be in theaters 2 years ago. Yeah, The Flash is another one that has run into problem after problem after problem, and obviously now with the Ezra Miller stuff going on, even more problems. So, I mean, you're looking at a long, and you know, then Uncharted they've been trying to get that going for years and years and years and years, and then they were finally day 1 of shooting, and they got shut down on day 1 of shooting because of the whole pandemic thing. So you're right. There's a lot of them out there, dude. But right now I still got to lean towards Indiana Jones 5 might be the most cursed out of them all. Anyway, Luis Perezendi writes, "Greetings, John. Knowing you loved heist stories, I do. Have you seen the Netflix Spanish series Money Heist? No, and you're like the fifth person to write into me about this. It is Netflix's most watched series ever outside of the USA. Love your show. No, but I have had, Luis, a number of people write into me about that, and I actually have it on my queue. Like, I've got a list of things that I want to try to get caught up on and watch. And then a lot of things people recommend I can't put on that list because, I only want to make the list so long. And other things need to take its place. But that one is in my queue because I've had a lot of people write into me about it. I've also had friends of mine tell me about it and say it's absolutely fantastic. So I got to check it out. And most importantly, as you've pointed out, Luis, I am a sucker for these heist type of movies or shows or whatever. I'm a sucker for this stuff. So sign me up. I'm on board. I will get around to it at some point. It is in my queue to watch. So thank you for the further recommendation, man. I appreciate that. All right, next up. Luke, I am your plumber, writes, I just got to say that I love Erin. I love Erin too. She is simply amazing. Not only is she beautiful and a great actress, she also makes me laugh with the Boba Fett and now with Indiana Jones with the rope. I love it. Just put me in a great mood. Thank you. I adore Erin. Erin and I've brought this up a few times, but it's true. Erin and we go back over 10 years now. That we've known each other, and we just instantly hit it off the day we met. And, we met as movie personality journalist. And she was at Comic-Con trying to promote a new movie they had called Bitch Slap. I was a journalist there, so they were, campaigning to get some journalist attention, to write some pieces and some coverage. But for whatever reason, we just hit it off and we became friends and we stayed in touch and contact. And then when I was making my movie, I reached out to her. She instantly said yes to being in mine. And we've been tight ever since. And I just adore her. And I really love having somebody on the show that is from that perspective of the entertainment industry, from the talent perspective of the entertainment industry, and not just somebody who's aspiring to be a talent. Like, she is in movies and television shows, and it's great to hear her point of view on it. And she's just she's a firecracker, and I just love having her on. So thanks for that, Luke. All right, NKS 43-2 writes, best of the three: Omen, Exorcist, or Rosemary's Baby. You know what? A lot of the hardcore horror fans I know will lean towards Omen, but I tend to lean with the more populist crowd when it comes to this thing. Exorcist to me, it's just thrilling. I mean, it's on top of being like chilling, it's also thrilling. I find it to be a thrilling movie to watch. It's just something about the way it executes itself that I adore. So if I got to pick one on the spot, I'm picking Exorcist. Although this is one of those things where there's no wrong answer. All right, 50 Shades of Geek writes, I just wanted to wish a happy Passover to all my fellow Jews, and unfortunately Rob's not here right now, who are hopefully watching the show. I'll be celebrating with my own little Passover tradition, watching The Prince of Egypt. I love that movie, and I'll watch it every Passover. R.I.P. Afra Haza. I really like that movie. It's come up a few times here on the show, Prince of Egypt. There's a song in it that's it's got to be my top 20 favorite songs ever from a movie. And it's by the Danny Glover character, although he's not actually doing the singing, I don't believe, for the song. But the song's called Heaven's Eyes. And it's a beautiful song, like lyrically and everything. It's a wonderful, awe-inspiring, I love the song. Look at your life through heaven's eyes. And I just love it. When all you've got is nothing, there's a lot to go around. It's great. I love that movie, and I really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy it, my friend. Okay, next up. Sherry Wong writes, hello, John and Erin. Any chance of doing an Ask Anything stream that would donate to a nonprofit to help with those affected by COVID-19? Okay, it's funny you should ask. Hold on a second. Let me bring up my Twitter here. It is funny you should ask because, let's see if I can bring this up. I'm going to try to bring this up right now. Let me see. I just put this out on Twitter. That tomorrow, I just put this up and said, hey guys, instead of a regular show tomorrow on Friday, April the 10th, I'll be doing a 12-hour live stream from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to raise money for Feeding America and their COVID-19 relief efforts, taking questions, playing games, picking my nose, whatever for 12 hours. Please join and give. So it is both ironic, odd, and fortuitous that you were asking that question right now. Yes, I am doing something for it. So tomorrow, instead of a regular John Campea show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and going for 12 hours. Now, we will take little breaks. I'll have to take little breaks here and there, like maybe a 5-minute break here and there, then probably 1 or 2 like full 20-minute breaks or something like that. You know, give myself a chance to get something to eat, just to rest the vocal cords for a minute, because I know it's going to be a struggle, but we'll get through it. My goal, my hope is that we can raise, I'm hoping we can raise $1,000. I'm hoping we can raise $1,000. And don't think that that's a small amount of money. $1,000 will go a long way to feeding some people who really need it right now. And when crazy stuff like this is going on and people are quarantined and losing jobs and all that kind of stuff, the basic things of like just having something to eat, something to feed your kids, that becomes an issue. And, if we can help out organizations like this that is doing really great work, that's awesome. So 12 hours tomorrow. Come and join me, and I want everybody, if you can, to contribute, throw some money in, and let's see what we can raise. I'm hoping for at least $1,000. Let's see what we can come up with. Anyway, thanks for sending that in, Sherry. Okay, next up, 50 Shades of Geek Rights. Maybe this year I'll do a double feature of The Prince of Egypt and the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments is awesome. I mean, obviously, everybody knows 10 Commandments. I know, like everybody knows it, but really, it's awesome. It's one of the all-time classic movies for a reason. And it is just brilliant. There's something about Charlton Heston in these old epics, man. Oh, between that and Ben-Hur. I mean, it is what it is. But that sounds like a good double feature, 50 Shades. All right. Roy writes, hey, John and Aaron. My next binge is Community. My wife loves Community. It is now on Netflix. Oh, really? I didn't know that. And it is quickly becoming one of my top 10 all-time favorite comedy sitcoms. Side note, Spartacus is in my top 3 dramas of all time. And of course, Aaron was one of the stars of Spartacus, which was like her first really big break, I think. And I love that show. Love that show. For those of you who've never seen it before, I'll be straight up with you. The first 2 episodes are some of the worst television you've ever seen. Straight up. I would have given up on the show except for the fact that my friend was in it, so I had to keep watching. But I'm glad that I did, because Spartacus became one of my top 3 favorite shows of all time. My top 3 favorite shows of all time in no particular order are Battlestar Galactica, Sons of Anarchy, and Spartacus. And she was great in it. But anyway, yes, my wife loves Community. I was not as big into Community as a lot of people or my wife was, but I appreciated it. I thought it was pretty funny and pretty good. So I'm glad you've discovered it and that you're enjoying it, man. All right, next up, 50 Shades of Geek Rights. I made a critical error in a tip I sent you the other day. I accidentally wrote, I'm defending Ezra Miller. I meant to write, I am not defending Ezra Miller, not defending him. My bad. I should have double checked myself. It's okay. The rest of your message, 50 Shades, made what your intent was pretty clear. So I think you were good. I think you were covered, but I appreciate you following up to clarify just in case. So thank you for that. All right. John S. Wright. My local theater, Cinemark, also has a movie club like AMC, just not as good. True. Cinemark's movie club is not as good as AMC A-List or even Regal Unlimited, but it's a nice little program. Like if your option was just not having a program or having Cinemark's program, Cinemark's a nice little movie program, and it saves you money. If you go to more than a couple movies a month, it saves you money. And I like Cinemark's program. Again, not as good as AMC's, but if all you got around you is a Cinemark, use their movie club because it's really good. And also pause the monthly fee, just like AMC has paused their monthly fees while their theaters are closed. However, I went into my account and I unpaused it. Number 1, to support them. Number 2, I want to build up movie tokens. Yeah, you're thinking. I want to build up movie tokens. I also bought stock, which is up 52% today. Ooh, that's a nice little return. Yeah, Ann and I were talking. You know what? Let me take a second here. Because Ann and I were actually looking up AMC Theater stock price, and it's down to $2.60. I'm telling you what, I just may buy myself some AMC stock because it is the lowest it's been ever. It's almost the lowest it's been in the last 52 weeks. It's almost at its lowest point. And I'm telling you what, Because I believe a third party, don't take my advice, by the way. I'm no financial expert. Do not take my advice. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. I still believe a third party is going to come in and pour operating money into AMC for them to, and the moment they do and AMC opens their doors again, you're not going to see their stock skyrocket, but I think you're going to see their stock double at least from where it is right now, from this low. So I think I'm going to buy myself some AMC stock. I'm serious about that. I really think I am. Anyway, good on you, John, for supporting your local theater and wanting to support them through this. That's actually really good of you. So good on you for that. All right, next up. Let's see. Last question of the day, guys, because then Brizzle's question came after the show ended, so it was meant for tomorrow's show. So we're going to start off tomorrow's 12-hour marathon with Brizzle's question. So there you go. Anyway, Phil Corvelli writes, if it were your choice, who would you like to see as the next big bad of the MCU? I personally would like to see Doctor Doom or Galactus. Thanks and have a great day. Honestly, Phil, I've been asked this question a number of times, and I will tell you what my answer has been every single time. I don't care. I really don't care, because ultimately who the villain is becomes irrelevant. It actually doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't matter. All it comes down to is, how are the villains written? Because Doctor Doom has been the main bad guy in 3 movies already. Just because he's Doctor Doom didn't make those movies good. They were bad because the character was badly written and it didn't come out well. So that's all that matters. Listen, they could come up with the dumbest. You know what they could do? They could get Toad. They could say Toad from the X-Men comics that was played by Ray Park in X-Men 1. They could get Toad and say he's the next big bad guy. But guess what? If they write him compelling and in a certain way, he could be the best villain, better than Thanos. He could be better than Thanos in the movies. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. If you write him the correct way and in a really compelling way and come up with something really creative and deep and all that kind of stuff, he could be amazing. He could be amazing. But like the other Fantastic Four movies, you could take a great comic book villain like Doctor Doom and it could turn out to be crap. So ultimately, I don't really care. I really don't. All I want them to do is whatever villain they decide to go with, make sure you've got a vision for what you want the story to be, put in the right villain to kind of accentuate that story, and then write that villain with care and with passion. And if you do that, any villain will work. And if you don't do that, doesn't matter what villain you put in there, they won't work. So I really don't mind. I don't care, because I don't know what their story is going to be. I don't know where they want the MCU to go. And so it's hard for me as a fan to say, this is who I want the villain to be, when I don't even know what because maybe the villain I want would be totally the wrong villain for the direction they want the MCU to go. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, obviously, listen, I like Doctor Doom. I think Galactus, I'll be honest with you. Everybody gets mad at me. I've always said this. I still believe it. I believe Galactus is a silly villain. I do. Big, giant, omnipotent thing that can eat a planet. Okay, well, what, is Hulk going to go fight it? I mean, I've always considered Galactus to be a bit of a silly villain. That being said, there are a lot of villains you could do that I'd be very, very happy with. So as long they can pick any one of those, write them well, make it part of a compelling story, and I'm all on board and I'm happy with it. Okay, guys. That gets us all caught up on the questions we didn't get around to on the John Campea Show a little bit earlier today. Thank you guys for being here and being a part of and checking out our companion video. And I don't know why that screen just came up. This is what happens. You're trying to control the switchboard and do the show at the same time. Anyway, guys, that will do it for me. Don't forget to join me tomorrow, anytime all day. Going to be starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, rolling for 12 hours. Will my voice actually last that long? I don't know. I don't know if it will, but I am aiming for 12 hours. I want us to raise $1,000. Let's see if we can do it. I hope you guys will join me along the way. All right, guys, that'll do it for me for now. Thanks a lot for being here. My name's John Campea, and until next time, bye-bye.